How was this ever allowed to happen? We need new commissioners in Ozark. The builder needed to put a buffer up of trees. Most obnoxious project approval ever. There is nothing like this in Nixa, Republic, Stratford, Willard. So why Ozark? Ozark Planning and Zoning is making some really bad decisions in the interest of getting tax revenue for this city. I don't think they take into account if the road, traffic light, or infrastructure and the ramifications thereof. Need a new board. Eric Howard. They have no idea what they are doing in that office. Their building inspectors need an auditor with them at all times. They are absolute crooks. Eric Howard. Ozark paid money to get Walmart to build here and they were coming anyway. Planning and zoning has failed us from the very start. I was a realtor for many years here. We needed planning and zoning, but lot more planning than zoning. The day they fired Timothy Sebald was when I knew they were corrupt. Rick Parham has been / is a builder in Kristen County. He knows the problems and understands the rule book. Rick will be running for Eastern Commissioner this fall. Stay tuned as you learn more about Rick and his conservative, common sense and plans about saving taxpayers' money. I like the idea the house owners should raise some pigs in their backyard. The owners were offered a nice price for that place. They did not want to sell at their price. Roger Thornton. Later on down the road they will be even more desperate to buy it and the owners can set the price. Roger Thornton. What was their reasonable price? Why didn't investors buy this beautiful home for their executive office, within walking distance? Roger Thornton. Now see, that's where part of the problem is. Investors think they can just wave a check around in someone's face and they should sell. It's the owner's dirt. And the contrast of the farmhouse against the prison-like monstrosity proves a point that's beyond whatever amount they were offered. Progress is fine. But planning and zoning failed the residents in this area. Our traffic is out of control already. And progress shouldn't look so horrid. Architecture is subjective, but keeping some properties of our beautiful area is important, and seemingly we're not doing that. They shouldn't have to sell. I've said it 1,000 times, adults with money are the worst bullies. Ozark wants to be the next big thing, and unfortunately we'll lose our character in the process. I'm glad he didn't sell, because it's shown the rest of us what the future of this small town looks like, and hopefully, that leads to some change to slow it down for a while. Roger Thornton, get your facts straight please. We own the old farmhouse and we didn't put it up for sale until the apartments were being built. You were referring to the newer gray farmhouse on the north of the apartments. We are Zone C2 commercial, so our 94-year-old farm, which is a landmark and loved by so many, will probably be demolished and make way for some commercial development. In all fairness, the city should purchase it so we can find our new retirement property. Honestly, I'd like to see Johnny Morris purchase our property and build a 6-story hotel on the south side of Finley Ridge. The city surely would allow him to build anything he wants. This right here is exact why it's critically important to vote next month. Until we start turning out at the polls, nothing will change. Last year, I ran for alderman, and the post-election polling data was disheartening. Unfortunately, just discussing issues on chit-chat without taking action won't bring about any change. We must vote. If we don't, do we truly have the right to complain about any of this? We have to be involved in our city government beyond just rants on Facebook. Go to PNZ meeting and alderman meetings. When we start showing up in droves, people will begin to listen. Absolutely unacceptable. Those in planning and zoning that approved those apartments on top of your home/neighborhood should be made to trade homes with you. The developer of those apartments should be ashamed. I guarantee they would not like it. I am so sorry this has happened. What people will do for the almighty dollar. Horrible. Whatever happened to disclosure? I spoke personally with the owner of the property building those homes before they broke ground for Finley Ridge and asked if they would voice their opposition to the apartments. Their answer was it's already approved, there is nothing we can do. I believe it was more like we don't want to make waves with the city that would jeopardize our future plans. UREDI bonds provide financial guarantees that bondholders such as public officials, companies, contractors, or unions will uphold their contracts according to mutual terms. Surety bonds protect we the people from fraud and malpractice. When a bondholder breaks a bond's terms, the harmed party can make a claim on the bond to recover losses. It only takes 10 people. Our forefathers knew that this day would come when governments would overstep their authority and try to control the people. That is why they protected us back in 1792. Surety bonds are one of the oldest guarantees there are. The bond is a contract that guarantees us that a person will perform their duties according to the laws and the Constitution of the United States. Once an elected official, company, or union step outside the law and starts imposing mandates on we the people, we have the authority to stop them. The bond gives us the power to put government officials, companies, and unions on notice. The more people who stand up and fight together, the greater our chances are of removing these people from office, heads of companies or unions. The first step in the process is to write a letter of intent. In this letter state only the facts and what rules or laws have been broken. Give them your conditions. Be strong and be firm. Give them 48 to 72 hours to meet your conditions. If they do not respond in this time period, it is time to take the second step. You will file a claim against their bond. Once you file your claim, the surety bond company will notify the bondholder. The bondholder knows he is responsible for paying all of these claims. A large number of claims filed at the same time against one bond are dangerous for the bondholder. The bond company will cancel his bond. Once this happens, it will be difficult for him to find another bond company that will issue him a surety bond. If a government official cannot be bonded, he will be removed from office. If a company cannot be bonded, they will need to close their doors. If the union cannot be bonded, they will have to close their doors. We have the power. Stand up now and fight for your freedom. You do not need a lawyer or a judge. All you need is a letter of intent to file against their surety bond. We have the power, now is the time to use it. Disclaimer, this information is for educational purposes only. This is not legal advice. If you choose to use these suggestions as legal processes, you do so at your own peril. Any and all actions taken from this information rests solely on those acting on it. All legal and financial responsibility rests on the parties acting on the information. All rights reserved, sacrificing none ever.